Think about it for a second. Your entire digital life, your bank, your emails, your social media, it's all locked behind a wall of passwords. But you know what? That wall is starting to crumble. Today, we're going to talk about why passwords are frankly a failing system and how this new thing called Passkeys is here to replace them for good. Let's get into how we can finally say goodbye to the password nightmare. Does this screen look familiar? Of course it does. This endless list of rules is just a constant headache. We've all been there, right? Trying to come up with some password that's like part fortress, part memory test, only to completely forget it a week later. It honestly feels like we're being set up to fail. And that really gets to the core of the problem. Passwords force us into this impossible choice. We either create these super unique, complex passwords for every single account, which is a huge pain, or we do what most people do. We take the easy route, reuse a few simple ones, and put our most sensitive information at massive risk. Now, you might be thinking, hey, I use a password manager, I'm good. And look, password managers are a huge step up for sure, but they create their own little problem, a single, really high-value target. If your password manager gets compromised or you forget that one single master password, everything could be gone in an instant. This isn't just about personal inconvenience either. It's a massive system-wide threat. The habit we all have of reusing passwords across different services has basically created a digital time bomb. And the scale of the problem, well, it's pretty staggering. 17 billion. That's the number of compromised accounts that have been identified in data breaches, according to the website Have I Been Pwned. It's a number so big, it's kind of hard to even wrap your head around. But every single one of those represents a real security risk for real people just like you and me. And this is how it happens. It's a domino effect. It all starts with one breach on some website you barely remember signing up for. But if you reuse that password, attackers now have the key to your email. And from there, they can try it on your bank, your social media, everything. One tiny leak can cascade into a total account takeover. Okay, but what if there was a way to have top-tier security without all the frustration? A way to log in that was actually simpler and safer? Well, that passwordless future isn't some far-off dream anymore. It's here. So let's talk about Passkeys. You know, it's totally normal to be a little skeptical of new security tech. As tech journalist Brady Snyder says here, even he was a bit worried at first. But I love this quote because it shows that once you actually make the switch, the benefits are so obvious that going back to an old-school password just feels like a huge step backward. So, how does this all work? It sounds really complicated, I know, but the core idea is surprisingly simple. We're going to break it down right now, no confusing jargon, I promise. It all comes down to this really clever idea. Just imagine you give a website a special, unique padlock. That's your public key. But you, and only you, have the one-of-a-kind key that can open that lock. That's your private key. And here's the most important part. That private key is stored securely on your phone or your computer, and it never, ever gets shared with anyone. So let's just walk through what a login looks like. A website sends a little request to your device. You approve it with a quick fingerprint scan or Face ID or just your device PIN. You know, things you already do dozens of times a day. On your device, your private key signs off on that request, proving it's you. The website sees that signature, matches it to the public lock it has for you, and poof, you're in. And all that sensitive data, your face, your fingerprint, your private key, it never even left your device. And this is really where it all comes together. For years, we've been taught that better security has to mean more hassle, right? More steps, more codes, more complexity. Passkeys completely flip that idea on its head. And this chart just lays it out perfectly. With passwords, if a company gets breached, your password is stolen. With Passkeys, the important stuff is safe with you on your device. You can be tricked into typing your password on a fake website, but a passkey literally won't work on a phishing site. It can't be fooled. I mean, think about that. This one change could basically wipe out the entire multi-billion-dollar problem of phishing. Oh, and it replaces those annoying two-factor authentication apps. It's just more secure and way more convenient. Okay, so this sounds great, but how do you actually start using it? Well, the good news is this isn't some far-off future tech. You can start your move away from passwords like right now, today. The biggest names in tech are already all in. You can secure your Google, Apple, and Microsoft accounts with Passkeys this very minute, and hundreds of other major services have already adopted them. If you have a modern smartphone or computer, it already supports Passkeys out of the box, and they sync seamlessly across your devices using things like iCloud Keychain or the Google Password Manager.
So the technology is here, it's more secure, and it's a whole lot easier to use. The password has had a long run, but it is definitely time for something better. I guess the only question left is the one you see right here. Is your oldest, most overused password finally ready for a well-deserved retirement?